Okay, well, I have a friend of mine who asked me to do a quick video, so we're just going to jump right into it. Let's start a new solution. We'll just select a new solution, and this one we're going to call it Nguyens. I think that's how you spell his name. Nguyens Salon. And we will save that. Now it's going to bring this stuff up. We don't need any of it currently. Let's just go straight into managing the database. But let me give you a little background. So I hope I'm not butchering your name, but Nguyens said that he has a nail salon and he needed a type of register, a way that he could create sales simply, easily, without a lot of stuff. He didn't want a lot of buttons. He didn't want a lot of complicated stuff. So we're trying to make this as absolutely simple as possible. So we'll just go ahead and go from there. Let's do we'll call it menu. Double click on the menu. We want name. We want a name, which is a text. We want a service, which is a text. We want a secret box, which is a text. We want a price, which is a control in number. We want a category, which is a text, control T. I think we're okay with that. Now if we go to create a new layout, we're going to go to menu. We're just going to call this sale page for the computer, list view, and we'll call it good. Sorry we had to do this twice. That's okay. Semi-rounded. Which one did I have? Oh, it wasn't that one. Oh, it was retro, wasn't it? Yeah, I like that one. I like that retro field. Back to the header. If you guys remember, we were at 130 in the points. That kind of tends to be one of my favorites. Just add some text. Nguyens, Nguyens Nail Salon. We'll get there. Go back to 36. Ooh, I like it bigger than that. 48. Put it up there in the top. We're just going to add us a couple of quick buttons. This one is going to be invoice. And just do nothing for now, which would be just great. We do want 24. Go to the appearance. Just want to make sure that these are equal. The advanced graphics, because otherwise it won't be center. So we just want to make sure that that is center. And then we're just going to control and drag and shift. Control and drag and shift. And we're going to put all of those right there. This one, I'm going to call it sort. This one I'm going to call finished. Oop. We'll That one kind of bites. I'm just going to get rid of it. I must be lost today. I don't know what, my fingers, fat fingers or something. Finish. And we're just going to tell it to do nothing for now. And you put these anywhere that you want to. I tend to like mine right there. On the body, we need to go to our field picker, and we need to select. I don't like to put labels on there. I really don't think that in this particular instance a label will actually do any good. So we'll go label, and we're going to select category. Now the cool thing is you don't have to show the category if you don't want to. What you can do is you can hide it underneath the service button if you want to, which is fine and dandy. Let's bring out the price box. We're going to move it this way towards the end. All of these, let's do 24. Well, if you think about it, you've only got 60 items. Let's do 18 instead. And let's click on this. Let's go 3. Let's go 3. Make sure they're right dead in the center. And let's just do that. Okay. We're going to need another little box. And this little box I'm going to in this box add. I certainly want it to be 24. Right now we just want it to do nothing. I know I'm going through this pretty fast, so if you have any questions or you need anything, just let me know and we'll kind of go from there. Right now what I want to do is this gradient. I need to add some color to it, just because I want it to kind of stand out. I don't want it to be a nice, thicker looking button. I like all my buttons to be nice, thicker looking buttons. So these ones, you can do the exact same thing. Just select this, put on a nice yellowish finish. 2 points. Gives it a nice full featured look to it. And then if we click body and we go to layouts and we go to part setup, we can select a header. We're going to create. We're looking for a sub summary part when sorted by category. And we want it to print it above it. And now if we click on the sub-summary part, we go back into here, we're looking at position. So right now it's at 20 points, and it should be probably 65 points. Nah, that's too much. Let's see, 45 points. Yeah, that looks okay. 40, 45. Yeah, let's make it 40. We'll be golden with 40. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to, I'm going through this really quick like I said, so we're just going to click over here. We went to text and we just clicked on the side. We're going to press Control and M, and that's we're going to tell it to sort by category. And so in this sense, we want this to be, got to click off of it first, Tim. We want this to be pretty good size. So 24, we're going to stick it all the way over here on the side. And I like it, I'm going to want this to be very yellow in color. I think that that would really bring out the, and you can make it bigger. And so now we want to exit the layout. New record. So we're going to add just a few files here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add, that one's going to be nails. That's the category. And the service is going to be basic paint. And we're going to add a price, but we didn't really do the price thingy, did we? So what we're going to do is we're going to select this, go to the data field, all the way down to the bottom, because we want this to be currency. Lift it up here. We want a fixed number of decimals and just use the system settings. It makes life so much easier. And we'll just exit the layout. And so now when we go here, we can say this is 5, and it'll instantly put in $5. New record, nails, fancy paint, and that will be $8. New record, we're going to have we'll call it wax. Call this lip wax, and that'll be $15. New record, wax. This one is going to be chin. It'll be $10. We'll just add a new record. So what we're doing is we're adding a function of different things that you can add to your register as you do them. So basically what we're saying is that if you press this add button, or you press this add button, it will add whatever's on this line into an invoice, which is just fine. And if you want to put in an individual's name or have some sort of a drop down for an individual's name, that in and of itself is pretty simple to do. If you wanted to say like your finished button, finish basically is going to close out that record. It's going to say we're done adding things to the invoice. Let's select another one here because I want a couple of 3 different categories. This one will be, let's do spa, and this will be a facial. We'll do new record, spa, and this one will be I don't know the business. So let's just say what do you call it? Let's do, what do you call it when you put stuff on your hands? I've completely lost. but we're just going to call it something simple, special, facial. This one will be $25, and this one will be $20. And so now, if you were to we want to add this single step, sort records, and we're going to tell it to perform it without dialogue, and we're going to tell it that we want it by category, and that we're good to go. So now, and most of the time when you do this, it's going to come up where it's always going to be sorted anyway, so you don't have to worry about it. And this particular deal, you'll be able to just, you know, on your iPad, you'll just be able to scroll up and scroll down. And don't worry about being able to change these, because when you're completely finished with them, what you will do is you'll go into edit layout, and you'll select it, and you'll hit the little eye, the inspector, and you'll tell it to that it's not available in browse mode, it's not available in find mode, and go to the next object using tab, take it off. What that will do is it will make this unchangeable. The only way to change it would actually be to get back into the system and make those physical changes yourself. But you can take these two or this, and you can link it. And how you do that is by creating another one. You can manage your layouts, and the sale page one, you can just duplicate it, and then we're going to edit it, and we're just going to call this admin. Now, when you go, sale page admin is the same thing. Sale page. So we will, I just make all kinds of funny things. Let's do spa. Spa. And we want this to be a neck rub, and it's $35. It'll automatically put it where it's supposed to be. Spa, neck rub, $35. Add it to the system. So now if we click on, we go, that was on the admin page, so let's go back to the sale page. Guess what? There it is on the sale page. So now if we go into edit our layout, this is our sale page. It's just a basic matter of scripting to be able to say, what we're going to do is we're going to this box, not available in browse, not available in find, do not tab. And you can just grab them all if you want to. But this box you will actually. Okay. Now when we exit the layout, we can click on it all day long. You can't make any changes to it whatsoever. But if we go to our admin page, we can still make changes. So you can see where we're going with this. So what we would do now is if we edit the layout, the invoice button is it's a single step. And what it would do is it's going to take us to, you're just going to say go to layout, and we'll go to a specific layout. So we'll go to We don't even have a layout currently for the invoice. That's all you want that one to do, is go straight to the invoice. The finish page, to finish, and the sort button. So if you do the finish one, what we can do is I'm thinking here. What I'd like to do is, I know you said that you needed to segregate it for different people. So you could have like, you know, Julie or Mary or Tanya or whoever actually creating a sale. Let's go back into edit layout, grab a field. Let's do secret box. Okay. And the secret box, I want to put it in the center because that's who I am. Put it right here. And appearance. None. Don't want no outer shadow. Quarter radius is nice. What am I looking for? I'm looking for fill. There is no fill. No fill. No line. Line attributes can only be applied to fields that have borders specified through the inspector. Okay. We'll just move it over here then, because you made me mad. And the text color, we want it to be same color as, you know, you can make this thing so tiny too. It doesn't have to be this big. So now let's see. If we exit layout, it is gone. And that's what we want. We want it to be completely hidden. Now the reason why we hid that box was so that if we decide to make this finish button into something that's different for other people, so what we can do is we can create this. We can create this into a popover. Button. And we're going to call the popover button finish. And we don't want any script triggers. And it'll be sales associate. And what am I doing? What is this? Okay. So we want this box to be the exact same size as the other box. 18. We'll go into our inspector. We'll change this to yellow. And I think we made that 2 points. So we can just delete this box. Put this box in there. Go back into our inspector. make sure that they're both in the same size so that they're both perfect. So this is 18 points, this is 18 points, this is 18 points. So now what we can do is we can click on it. Come on. And we can create buttons inside of it. Let's just do long buttons like this. And this one we're going to call Robin. Robin 0. Right now we'll tell it to do nothing. And we're going to create it. And we're going to create it. I'm just holding down the control button so that I can copy it. And now I can actually take this one down like that, highlight all of them, go into my positions, and I can align them on vertical centers, and I can distribute them vertically on the centers. Now for this one, I can call this one Tanya Sparrow, and call this one Henry Zoom, Tom Lee. Oop, I won't do it. There it goes. Bob Roberts. Now, what happens is, if we exit the layout, and we've added products to our invoicing, which is a pretty simple script. I'll show you that script really quick. When you go to the finish, it'll say Robin 0, and it does nothing right now. But that will actually be the script to go to your invoicing page and basically close out the sale. So what it will do is, let's do a really quick script. So let's we'll tell it to perform a script. We'll add a new script. And the cool thing is, all you have to do is change the name on the box, or change the name, basically. And I think this one, associate sale. That's what we'll call it. And so the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to tell it to is set a variable, and that will be, we'll call it name, specify get script parameter. Okay. I'm just going to delete these other values. then we will tell it to, it should just do it actually. Normally I have to put it in a box first, but this might just do it because we set the variable as the script parameter, so it should work. And then we'll just tell it to go to the layout, and this would obviously be the invoice layout that we would go to. And then, so we'll just say original layout, but we mean to go to the invoice. And then after that, we want to set a field, and what we'll do is we'll say set field, and the target field will actually be in invoice. Cancel. Why don't we just leave that like it is right now? Because this button, we told it to perform a script, sales associate. Now here's the script parameter, and so the script parameter we can just say is Robin 0. And then this one, we can tell it to perform the same script. And this one is Tanya Sparrow. Right now we're just going to go manage our database really quick, because we need to go to invoice field. Actually, we need to go to the register field. So we're going to add sales underscore associate, and it's a text. And then we will have ID, that's a number. We'll have date, that's going to be a date. And what else will we have? That's pretty much it for the register, because the register is the top portion of the, if you just go back and see some of my previous videos, you'll see how to create an invoice with a register and be able to marry those two together. And then we will need an invoice ID FK. And that will just be a number. And that way, if we go to invoice, we can create the ID, and if we go back to register and click on IDFK, it'll be a serial number on creation. Yep. Now obviously in the invoice one, you'll have a lot more. You'll have the service. We'll just quick do a couple of them, which is going to be a text, so Control T. You'll have the price, which is a number. You're going to have the if you want to put a category, if you want to put something like that, that's fine. You don't have to. What else do you want to put in there? Of course, you're going to want to put in some buttons. So you're going to want a summary price, and that one's going to be a summary. And it's going to be a total of the price. So it's a sub-summary price. So what that does is it's going to keep, so if you've got like several different items on your invoice, what it will do is it will add all of those up together. And then if you have tax, you'll have to add like a tax button. You can be like state tax, whatever it is, and that one's actually going to be a number. Actually, no, it's not. Cancel. That one is going to be a calculation. Change it. Okay. So this calculation is going to be the summary price we're going to multiply it, and we're going to set these, and it's going to be 1.05 for this state. So it's basically just the price times 5%. So that would be a 5% increase. Now we need to go into relationships, and what we need to do in relationships is we need to relate certain pages together. So your register and your invoice need to be related to each other. So here we can take this and marry it to the invoice IDFK to the invoice ID, and now these two things will be associated with each other, and you can actually create them on the same page, as you'll see in some of my previous videos. But we're just going to go ahead and do OK with that. So now if we go into this associate sales, and we're going to set a field, specify what field do we want. Well, we don't have a layout, so you go to register, sales associate, and the calculated result will be S name. So that when it goes to your invoicing page, it will automatically, I'm assuming that this is what you're looking for. What you're looking for is a system where individuals have a tablet and they can go through and put multiple services on a single invoice, and then they can go to that invoice, attach their name to it, and it'd be like, okay, Rhonda just sold all of this stuff. So that would be pretty simple. That's how you actually are going to set sales associate's name specifically to a specific invoice. And then that's pretty much all you would really need. And here all you need to do is just halt script. And I don't know why this is, because this box Let's bring it over here. This box is kind of bothering me. This box, because it's underneath it there. That's kind of weird. And so with this one, adding a script is really super simple too. We're going to just perform a simple script. We're going to add one, and it's going to be called add service. And we don't have to, I guess you could have it in a step. You could say, have a comment that if, you could just like, what am I looking for? Taking so long. Show custom dialog. So you can show custom dialog, and the dialog is add services, and the message will be confirm additional services. You can specify what happens when you press OK. And it'll just say, please confirm it. You don't have to have the dialog box if you don't want to. This is a new script. I thought I named it. I did. Add service. And now what we're going to do is we're going to tell it to set variables. So the first thing it's going to do is it's going to set the price variable, and it's going to be this. Then you're going to tell it to set another variable, and this one is going to be service. And that's going to be service. See how simple it is? And then you will tell it to go to layout, and that layout will be, because I don't have it, but we'll just go ahead and say the invoice layout. And then you're going to want to install on timer. No. See, I normally have all of these stuff. New record request. And then you will set the invoice field service, and you will $sign service, just like that. So what that will do is, all you're doing is you're just taking the information from this line, and you're going to transfer it to an invoice. Oh, it seems quite complicated, but it's really super simple. This script is so simple. All you're going to do is tell it what to do. So you would add the service. You don't have to add the category, and then add the price. So on this, the very last thing that you're going to do is you're just going to basically set field. And it's going to be invoice price. And this one's going to be $price. And then you will tell it to go to layout, original layout, and halt script. And that's pretty much it. You can actually commit records after, if you want to, you can commit records after this. You're just going to create new records on just the invoice section. So that it makes things, I just have a frog in my throat today. That way it'll all go to the invoice. What we can do, I know I set this box up, but so if you go to finish, you're going to have all of these names that you can select from. And if you press this, it'll go to that other layout, which we haven't yet created. So what we can do is I don't know how long this video is already. I don't want to get too far into it. But we can create a new layout. And this one's going to be based on a register. And we're going to call this one invoice let's make it a computer. That's going to be a form. So our header, like normal, 130, 135 is fine. And you just add your name to it, no big deal. Here, we're going to put, what is that I'm looking for? Field, add a field or control. So here, specify a field, invoice. Cancel, why am I doing this? Portal tool, that's what I need. We can allow vertical scrolling. Okay. Service, price. And that's it. Make price small, make service big. Okay. Now you can put a little button in here that will remove it should someone put one on there by accident. But this one, what we can do, because it's going to be financial. So you want currency. I'm going to move this over here so you guys can see it. So you want currency, fixed number of decimals, and just the system settings. Currency, fixed number of decimals, system settings. Now it will be a price on this particular page. And we can add a field, current table register, can put our sales associate right here, and we can make it bigger. 18 or 24. We'll just put it there. We'll put it in the middle. Go back to our inspector. What am I looking for? Appearance. There. It should be in the center. So let's exit. Let's go to sale page. Edit. Perform script. Add service. Okay. Let's click the add service button. So it'll show a custom dialog, set variable, set variable. It'll go to the, let's go to the layout that we just created. We should have named it something different. Let's cancel, let's cancel. Let's go back to the register invoices. Okay. Let's manage the layouts. So this is the one that I'm on right now. So we're going to name this one sales invoice. Now if we exit the layout, we go back to our sale page, edit the layout, bring up this add service. We tell it to go to the sales invoice, new record request, then we're going to set the fields, and then come back to the original layout. So here, let's click here. Freeze window. The reason why we're going to freeze windows is because we don't want it to actually leave. We don't want it to actually go anywhere. Freeze window. Okay, let's give it a shot. So if we add, okay, add. Okay, you don't have to have that if you don't want to. So let's go to our sales invoice. See what it did. Oop, we forgot. We need a new record. What? How many records do we got? Went to sales invoice. Finish. Okay, I'm back. I'm kind of in the middle of doing all kinds of things. My hair is a mess, but I think I figured out why it's not working. So let's go to edit. Like I said, it's been a while. go to Edit Layout, Manage Your Database, and we're going to look at the relationships. And so our relationship currently with the invoice, between the invoice and the register, we need to double click on that little equal sign. We see that here it is. We need to allow the creation of records in this table, and then allow creation of records in this table. So we'll just go ahead and do that. And we'll press OK. Now, if we, now it should work. I don't know. I've done a few things I probably shouldn't have done. Let's see where we are. So the layout that we want to go to is the sales invoice, new record request, which actually should not be new record. It should be, we are looking for record, but should be that one. Because you should always have an open record. There should always be like an open record on it until you close it. So we'll go there, and then we need I'm going to tell it to go to portal row last. Now this is where we should have been already. And then you're going to set the field invoice service to service, set the field invoice price to price. This should now allow it to create records. Let's see if, because I totally spaced out. I was like, how am I going to, it's not creating a record. It's not creating a record. Well, it's because you can't create records unless you tell it that you can create and or delete records in either one. So now if we go to our sales invoice, it should be here. We have one. Oh, it's creating a separate record for every one. So it should be I'm just going to put this up here. I don't care. I'm just getting rid of it. I moved all kinds of things around, so what it should do is it should allow us to allow vertical scrolling, reset bar when existing record, initial row, number of rows. Use active row state. Okay, so as you saw, it is, what? That's kind of weird. That's because I'm going to different layouts. So as you saw, it's basically, it's saying, it's giving it a new record. I'm not sure why it's doing it, so we're going to edit the layout. We're going to double click this. We're going to go here, read it, new record request. We have to delete that because we don't want a new record every time. We just want it to go to the next one. Now it should work. So let's add fancy paint, beautiful neck rub, and we're gonna wax the chin. And now if we go to, and I'm gonna set up that button here in just a minute. Now if we go to sales invoice, there's all three of them. Now they're in there. I went ahead and did the Robin 0. And when we get done with this, of course, this is our invoice. So this will be the person, this particular one I sold. So if we go to a new record, it's blank. We can go back to sales page admin, and then let's just, we're going to tell it go to layout, and we want it to go to sales invoice. And so now it will go there. And if we let's see what this is doing. Associate sale. Set variable, script parameter, go to layout, sales invoice register, set field, name, halt script. Okay. So now that all of that stuff should work. So if we add a fancy paint and a facial, and we were like, okay, we're done, and it's Robin that did it. There's Robin 0, the fancy paint, and the facial. And then this is how much it is, $28. I haven't set that yet, but if you watch my Filemaker video, the Filemaker series number 2, I believe it is, number 2 or number 3, you'll actually get a lot to do with the invoices and how invoices work, and bringing those, all of that formula together. And later on in the series, later on down the line, we'll probably do an invoicing section. But for now, we're just going to kind of live with what we got. So I really hope that this has helped you, where you can now go in, because when you load this onto your system, when you look at this via your tablet, what you're going to have is you have all of this stuff listed, and it's all going to be segregated by this system. Now, to build a much more functional one, you'll probably need a back office space, so you'll need to put like a security box and a back office button, so that you can go into a back office, but it will register what the security box says first. And I think that this should do it. I hope it's helped you. This is a much quicker way of selling just a very, very, very few products, and it will put them on a really nice setup. Of course, if you are doing this is the admin one. If you are doing something like this, I suggest that you give it a little longer explanation as to what the service actually is, so that when you do go to your invoice, it looks pretty good. But of course, you're going to have other buttons, like you're going to have the cash button or the check button or the credit button or whatever, which will actually close out your invoice. And then, of course, you'll put a button here that goes back to the sale page. And the sale page obviously will never change. It'll always be the same. I hope that's helped. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time. I do have my new computer, and I am up and running. We will probably start producing videos pretty soon. It's been such a nightmare. We just have so many different things to go. I hope that you like. Please press the thumbs up button if you do like what you saw. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. We have so many other things going on right now. We're getting ready to do Lucident Gamers and just Lucident Media, Lucident Entertainment, and pay attention to those, because we are going to hit the ground running here pretty quick, probably in the next couple of weeks. I know I say that, but I'm also running a business at the same time and helping friends out with as much as I can. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.